What's going on, guys? So it's a rainy day here. Can't do much of nothing, so out in the shop, looking at the RC4 drive cross country, the Black Rock body. I have no idea what the status is of this. They took it off their website. I've seen some retailers are still selling it. RPP, I think, has some in stock. Don't know anything as to the why or what, or if anything else is going to come out for this, so I want to do some bumpers, but they haven't made anything for it yet. Now, if you remember all the accessories they have for it so far, we've already done on here. We've got the, I think they're infab slider steps, which the step is annoying. It catches on a lot of stuff. If it was just a tube, I think that would be great. We've got the bikini top, which is kind of cool. But the main thing, we upgraded all the structural parts of the chassis. We've got the aluminum upgrades, and yeah, really beefed it up a little bit. I hadn't had anything break on it yet, but you know, why not? But I really want to do a bumper. So the main thing I was having issues with, other than the steps catching on the rocks, was front bumper hitting the tire a little bit. The rear bumper hangs down pretty low. It's level with the chassis, but it just kind of looks off to me. It sticks down below the body. So I don't have anything really good for the rear, but I have one here that we're going to look at to see if we can put on the front. This is an RC four-wheel drive part number Z-X0053. It says it's a Type B machine front winch bumper for TF2. The reason I like playing with RC four-wheel drive stuff is it's all kind of interchangeable. And the mounts on this chassis for the bumper are interchangeable with the TF2 mounts, which are interchangeable with the Dulon 2, I believe. And I've got a bunch of different mounts that put this at different heights. You can see that one's about 1/2 inch drop. That's a 3/4 inch drop. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I've taken off. So hopefully we can find one to make it work. It's a pretty good looking bumper. It's a little narrower than this body, but I think we're just going to rock it because I want to do something to it. And it's a nice solid piece. This will be good skid plate protection on the front as well. I don't know if they still actually make this. It's a newer packaging. I got it on a lot of things on eBay. I just bought a lot of RC four-wheel drive stuff. It had this and some emblems and some fender flares and a bunch of just random stuff. And I like those old bumpers. It's still not the same as the one that I have on my red Hilux. That one I'm pretty sure is no longer made. But I'm going to take a look at putting that on this thing today. And maybe a rear bumper. I've got this. This was one of my first styrene things I ever built. Just a basic bumper. This was for a Tamiya Jeep YJ body. One of my first scale attempts here back in the last 20 years. And just made this and sanded it. It's painted in kind of soft rubbery coating. It's got some glue marks and stuff on it. It needs to be touched up. Got a fake receiver hitch. It's too small, obviously, to actually use, but it looks the part, and it doesn't hang down too low. So we're going to see what it'll take to maybe mount this to the factory mount. Not sure. But I don't have any other nice aluminum rear bumpers. All the ones I have for those are on my Hiluxes. They're big, beefy with the hitches, and not really what we need on this. The stock bumper on here is kind of bulky. The hitch looks good. It's got a place to hook up safety chains and stuff, but it really hangs down, and it was catching on a lot of stuff. And this chassis, I do love this chassis. It's very capable. I just got to get rid of the things hanging it up, which are all body related. They're not anything on the chassis sticking down out of the way. So I'm going to flip it around up front, and we'll take a look at how that's going to work. Alright, so we got the plastic bumper. I've already taken the pins out of it. It mounts just like most RC four-wheel drive bumpers. You can see our holes are perfectly across with the chassis rail ends. That's why some of these drop options, I'm going to lower those down to where this bumper would actually fit. Because right now it's setting too high. It's hitting fenders, it's over the blinkers and stuff like that. So we need to drop it down. I've got one, where'd it go? This one's the least amount of drop. I'm going to try it first. I've already taken those screws out. I cheated. Put this in. Hear it thundering out there. Not sure if you can hear that on the camera or not. So that tucks it in pretty good. I just don't want to get it too far in the fenders. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If it's coming out on camera or not. I like it to sit back flush like that, but you can see the ends tuck under the fender a little far. It looks a little silly. Now we can move it out just a hair. So I don't know, we could chop these ends off the bumper and make it work a little bit better. I've done that on several of my RC four-wheel drive bumpers before. Alright guys, I had a change of plans there at the end. I found that bumper in a little bin on my tabletop. I forgot about that. I think that's Tough Armor, just a tube bumper with a hitch. It tucks the hitch back a little further. I'm probably still going to get hung up on stuff, but at least we got some metal back there. The one I was trying to use, I found this. This is off the Trailfinder 2 short wheelbase, but the post, the holes on it are a little bit narrower than everything else RC four-wheel drive has. This was made to bolt directly to the end of the frame. It didn't have these posts, so I cut the post off the stock bumper and tried to make it work. It was sitting a little too low. The rear of the chassis is wider than, it's like a bruiser. It's narrow at the front, the same width as TF2s and Galan 2s and all that, but it widens out at the rear. So none of the other bumper mounts, cross members would fit in there. So that didn't work. Instead of trying to use my custom styrene one, found that fits the bill pretty well. I think that front bumper worked out pretty well. I cut the ends off of it. It lines up with the edge of the fenders. It's a little narrower than the fenders, but hopefully one day we have some aftermarket fender flares to put on this thing. The tow hooks came off that TFL Racing Bronco I've had laying around forever, and I had a winch. I didn't remember, I had a spare RC four-wheel drive Warn winch. So we got that mounted on there. Had to trim a little bit off the winch plate. They never fit right. There's always overhang on the back, so I just trimmed that off rather than trying to take the winch off and flip the mount around and all that. Just trimmed it back, and yeah, got the bumper tucked back nice. It looks proportionate. So adds a little more weight up front. These custom wheels, I don't remember what these were. They're some kind of Boom Racing, I think. They have weights on the front. I forgot about that. Got those on a rig I bought used, so it does have weighted hubs on the front two wheels. So this thing should crawl pretty well as long as we don't hang up on the steps too much. But I'm gonna wrap this video up here, guys. Just a little fun project using parts I got laying around. I don't know again if what we're gonna get for this rig, if this rig's gonna become available again. I know nothing, and haven't heard nothing official or anything. So in the meantime, get out and have some fun with the hobby, keep it scale, and I will see y'all next time.